Good day everyone! Before I will start sharing to all with you my play, can I ask something? Once in your life, did you experience accused for something you never done? How does it feel? What happened to you after that scene? Does it hurt you a lot? The play shows how strong such false beliefs can be. Once you're already eaten by your anger and jealousy, you can never control your actions and think right. You will easily make a wrong move that you will regret for the rest of your life. A winter's tale is one told or read on a long winter's night. Paradoxically, this winter's tale is ideally seen rather than read. Through the imagination can transform words into vivid action. It shifts from tragedy to comedy, disguises and starting exists, and transformation seem addressed to theater audiences. The Winter's Tale is a romantic comedy with elements of tragedy. It includes murderous passions, men eating bears, prince and princesses in disguise, death by drowning and by grief, oracles, betrayal, and unexpected joy. Yet, the play, which draws much of its power from Greek myth, is grounded in the everyday. Leontes, the king of Sicilia, and the childhood friend of the Bohemian king Polixenes. He is grieved by jealous fantasies which convince him that Polixenes has been having an affair with his wife Hermione. His jealousy leads to the destruction of his family. Hermione, the virtuous and beautiful queen of Sicilia, falsely accused of infidelity by her husband Leontes. She apparently dies of grief just after being vindicated with the oracle of Delphi, but is restored to life at the play's close. Mammalus, the young prince of Sicilia, Leontes and Hermione's son, he dies perhaps of grief after his father wrongly imprisoned his mother. Perdita, the daughter of Leontes and Hermione, because her father believes her to be illegitimate, she is abandoned as a baby on the coast of Bohemia and brought up by shepherd. Unaware of her royal lineage, she falls in love with the Bohemian prince Florizel. Polixenes, the king of Bohemia, and Leontes' boyhood friend, he is falsely accused of having an affair with Leontes' wife and barely escapes Sicilia with his life. Much later in life, he sees his only son fall in love with a lowly shepherd's daughter, who is in fact a Sicilian princess. Florizel, Polixenes' only son and heir, he falls in love with Perdita, unaware of her royal ancestry, and defeats his father by eloping with her. Autolycus, former servant Florizel, now a rogue. Archidamus, a Bohemian courtier. Antigonus, Paulina's husband and also a loyal defender of Hermione. Paulina, a noble woman of Sicily, she is fierce in her defense of Hermione's virtue and unrelenting in her condemnation of Leontes after Hermione's death. She is also the agent of the apparently dead queen's resurrection. Camillo, an honest Sicilian nobleman, he refuses to follow Leontes' order to poison Polixenes, deciding instead to flee Sicily and enter the Bohemian king's service. Emilia, one of Hermione's ladies-in-waiting. Cleomenes and Pion, courtiers in Sicilia. Shepherd, a foster father to Perdita. And lastly, the shepherd's son. Summary: the jealous king Leontes falsely accused his wife Hermione of infidelity with his best friend, and she dies. Leontes exiles his newborn daughter Perdita, who is raised by shepherds, for 16 years and falls in love with the son of Leontes' friend. When Perdita returns home, a statue of Hermione comes to life and everyone is reconciled. The play begins in Sicilia, where King Polixenes of Bohemia is visiting his close friend Leontes, the king of Sicilia. One of Polixenes' noblemen named Archidamus speaks with Leontes' nobleman Camillo about Leontes' beloved young son Mamellus and the hospitality with which Leontes has welcomed the visiting Bohemians. At Leontes' court, Polixenes tells Leontes that he must leave and return to Bohemia. Leontes cannot convince Polixenes to extend his visit, but when Leontes' pregnant wife Hermione asks Polixenes to stay, he agrees. Suddenly, Leontes begins to suspect that the friendly affection traded between Hermione and Polixenes are romantic in nature. He wonders if he is even really the father of Mammalus. Polixenes and Hermione leave, and Leontes calls in Camillo. Leontes is absolutely convinced that his wife is having an affair with Polixenes and orders Camillo to poison Polixenes. Camillo considers his difficult position. He finally decides that he cannot kill Polixenes, even if this means disobeying his own king. Polixenes enters and Camillo eventually tells him about Leontes' suspicion and desire to have Polixenes killed. Polixenes and Camillo plan to flee for Bohemia together. Leontes interprets this as a confirmation of Polixenes' guilt, and he berates Hermione for being unfaithful. He suggests that Hermione is actually pregnant with Polixenes' child. Hermione insists that she is innocent, but Leontes has her thrown in jail. Paulina, a Sicilian noblewoman, visits Hermione in jail and learns that Hermione has given birth to a daughter. Meanwhile, Leontes has sent two men to Delphos to get an oracle from Apollo declaring Hermione's guilty or innocent. Paulina takes the child to Leontes in the hopes that the sight of the infant might soften the king, but Leontes is still convinced that his wife has cheated on him and that both Camillo and Polixenes have conspired against him. He claims that the newborn girl is a bastard child and says both Hermione and the baby should be thrown into a fire to be executed as a punishment for her infidelity. Leontes holds a public trial for Hermione, accusing her of cheating on him and conspiring against him with Polixenes. Hermione insists that she only loved Polixenes as a friend and says that she defends herself against Leontes' accusation not in order to save her own life, but in order to save her reputation and honor. The oracle from Delphos is read aloud and it proclaims that Hermione and Polixenes are innocent. Camillo is a true subject, and Leontes will live without an heir, if that which is lost be not found. Leontes disregarded the oracle and still believed his wife to be guilty. Suddenly, a servant enters and announces that Mammalus, who has been seriously ill, has now died. Hermione faints and Paulina takes her away, worried that the troubled woman is dying. She soon returns and announces that Hermione has died. Leontes finally realizes the error of his ways and admits that he has been wrong. He plans to bury Mammalus and Hermione together and mourn them every single day. Antigonus has a dream wherein Hermione directs him to leave the baby on a beach in Bohemia. He does this and is then killed by a bear before he can leave. A shepherd and his son find the child and take her home. The play will now jump forward 16 years. The shepherd has raised Perdita as his daughter in Bohemia, while Leontes continues to mourn his wife and dead children in Sicilia. In Bohemia, Camillo, Leontes' old cupbearer, asks Polixenes if he can return home. Polixenes denies his request. He mentioned how his son Florizel has met and fallen in love with a shepherd's daughter named Perdita. This relationship is far below the social station of the prince and Polixenes is not happy. Polixenes and Camillo in disguise attend the feast where dancers entertain them. When Florizel and Perdita are betrothed, Polixenes reveals himself. He denounced Florizel and threatens the shepherd and his son for allowing Perdita to befriend the prince. Camillo, still anxious to see his homeland, helps Florizel and Perdita escape and travel to Sicily. They are followed by the shepherds, who in turn are pursued by Polixenes and Camillo. At Leontes' court, Florizel introduces himself and his beloved as ambassadors on behalf of his father. Leontes, still in the mourning over his action, welcomes the son of his former friend and his new wife. Polixenes and Camillo soon arrive, explaining Florizel's escape. Leontes discovers that Perdita is his long-lost banished daughter, with Perdita now a suitable companion for Florizel. Everyone is reunited and Leontes and Polixenes mend their past. As the play concludes, Paulina reveals a newly completed statue of Hermione. Everyone, especially Leontes, remarks at how beautiful and realistic the statue looks. Upon Paulina's direction, music sounds and the statue comes to life. The now living Hermione embraces Leontes and is happy to see her daughter Perdita. Florizel and Perdita are betrothed. Leontes and his queen are restored to one another. Paulina encouraged everyone to go somewhere to rejoice at their good fortune, while she laments the death of Antigonus. Leontes tells her not to be sad and suggests that she marry Camillo, who he now knows is an honest, good man. Jealousy is natural, but when it becomes intense or irrational, it can seriously damage a relationship. Jealousy can often make you act out against your partner, even if your partner is innocent and has no idea why you're angry. Or worse yet, whatever the reason, whether valid or not, jealousy can be a huge factor in a disconnection between couples. Be mindful with our words, decision, and actions because we can't go back in time to correct things that we did wrong. Accusing someone without valid evidence is not good, and I hope we can all learn what the essence of the play wants to convey to us. Think before you act. Make sure all your assumptions are correct before regretting what you did wrong. Since the truth always comes out late, be ready to face the power of regret.